Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight we are talking about 5-year-old Michael Joseph Vaughan, affectionately known as Monkey Vaughan, who was abducted from his Fruitland, Idaho home in July rather of 2021. There's been an arrest with one of the named now suspects. All four of them were suspects. Stacey Wondra, he has been arrested for the unaliving of Michael Vaughan, and he had a wife. Her name was Sarah Wondra. There's also two others involved, allegedly, and that would be Brandon Shirtliff. We'll get a little bit into him tonight, and Adrian Lucy in. 3 out of 4 are in jail. One is just for the charges of Michael Vaughan. The other 2 are on unrelated charges. But tonight we have a special guest, and that is Mr. Andrew. He knew Stacey and Sarah, specifically Stacey, for quite some time, about 10 years on and off. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what he knows about them, things that he has witnessed, experienced, all of that. And we have, of course, Sam from Missing PNW True Crime. So, guys, if you don't mind, please hit that thumbs up button before we get started. Also, share the live out. Would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Good to see you guys in chat. Thank you so much. Cindy Lou coming in clutch at 17 months. Girl. That's good. Thank you so much, Cindy Lou. Really do appreciate it. So good to see you. Guys, here we go. We're gonna bring up Andrew, and we're gonna bring up Sam. Hello, Andrew and Sam. Good to see you guys. How y'all doing?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me on. Look forward to kind of talking about what I know.
Of course, of course. Is my mic okay? Do I sound okay? Someone said
you sound okay. You muffled there for a second. Thank you, Andrew,
Okay.
so much for coming up and talking about Sarah and Stacey.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, thank you guys for having me.
Of course, of course. I'm trying to fix my microphone.
Good to see everybody in chat. Hope everybody's doing well tonight.
Okay, hopefully that's better. Is that better? Or is it still off? Just be honest.
You sound okay to me, but you sound not yourself.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit better. Mods, how is he sounding to you guys? I have my earphones in, so.
I mean, I think he sounds normal to me, but I don't.
He likes it crisp and clear. Very crisp. You're so cute getting ready before your lives. I love watching you get ready for your lives. Sitting backstage watching Justin, seeing how he's doing his thing.
Do I sound okay now?
Yes, that's more like you.
Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I sound good. Okay, perfect, good. All right, you like to be called Andrew, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Andrew, so much for joining us. I really do appreciate you. I said, I was like, Andrew, you don't have to turn your camera on or anything, because some people are not comfortable with that. And he's like, no, I don't have a problem or anything like that. So you live in Idaho?
Yeah, I live in Meridian.
Okay, nice. And how long have you known Stacey and Sarah?
So I've known Stacey for, I would say, about 10 years. I met him in Belgrade, Montana, which is where he was for quite some time. I actually met Stacey or Sarah more recently I've only known her for about 2 years, give or take, maybe a little bit longer. But I've been around Stacey for a pretty significant on and off amount of time. He just happened to hang out with the people that I would be close to, but me and him were never directly friends.
Right.
But due to me knowing Stacey and him happening to being close by, sometimes when I'd work here, I would employ him short term for contract work. So I've also have some work experience with him as well.
Got you. Okay. And so you met him originally in Montana.
Yes.
Okay. And it was just work, like it?
So in Montana, it wasn't work. I actually met him through a mutual friend in Montana. The work side only came when I was moving to Boise side.
Got you. Okay. Now, and you met Sarah through
Stacey.
obviously Stacey, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. And what kind of work did you employ him to do?
So I own a logistics company. So we basically pick up pallets from a certain place and we drop them off to businesses. So he would drive, use a lift gate, and unload stuff.
Oh, gotcha. And sorry, let me turn this thing off or it'll ding me to death. Okay. When all of this came about, and Stacey and Sarah, did you know Brandon or any of them at all?
No, I didn't know them directly, to be honest with you. Outside of seeing them through this whole case thing, I have no relation or knowledge of those people.
Got you. I didn't figure, but I thought I would ask just to be sure. Okay. And when all of this came out that they named Stacey and Sarah specifically because you know them, what was your thoughts?
Well, as bad as this sounds, just because of my experience with Sarah, I immediately didn't really bat an eye at the Sarah part. I was actually pretty surprised to see Stacey's name on there, and it's not because Stacey's been a saint by any means, but
Sure.
being around him as long as I have been for 10 years. I mean, outside of the guy having problems with having guns when he's not supposed to, and to be clear, I don't mean using them in a crime or hurting people or intimidating with them. He just
He
always
was a
had a
felon.
problem being in possession of guns when he wasn't allowed to be.
Correct.
Other than that, like Stacey, as long as I've known him, has been a pretty lazy guy who is hard to motivate to do a lot of things. So it was very shocking to me to especially start diving deeper into the story, all of the stuff he's saying. And this sounds rude, but with personal experience, work experience, and life knowledge, Stacey's like physical capability has been probably one of the most limited individuals I've ever met in my life. So that was actually the first, like, I can't believe this point, because working with Stacey, and again, this isn't just one time. I mean, this guy would be almost to extreme exhaustion failure within 10 steps of where he was at.
Right.
And Stacey has never seemed like a truly bad guy in the sense of ever be involved in something like this. But I will say I have known him to be a liar to people for a long time. For sure, he's definitely known as a liar, but I would have never ever suspected something of this caliber to come with Stacey.
Or a liar, but not killing.
Right, not an evil person by any means.
Right. Now, tell us about with Sarah. How did that come about, and what unusual circumstances have you encountered or witnessed with
Yeah. So when I started having Stacey work for me, he started talking about at the time Sarah, which again I didn't know outside of him. And again, for the people that are new in here too, I want to preface again, we weren't friends, so it's not like I checked in on him every day. I didn't really divulge deep into his personal life over here, especially. But he would bring her up, and sometimes I'd start listening about it. And he's like, "Hey, will you come over and meet?" And the guy works for me, and even though it's rough, long days for him, he still got my job done that I needed him to. So it just seemed like the right thing to do. Okay, I'll come over even though we're not friends. I appreciate you helping me out. And the first time I was ever over to his house with Sarah, it was actually quite immediate to see, like, her face value on anything is always she looks really mad. She always looks mad, and I'm not talking about like RBF.
Like a hard
No,
face.
just always like she was mad at the world. Always, like, there's always something to be mad about. And I got introduced, and she's like, "Hey," and I was like, "Okay." I see where this is going. Okay.
Right.
So, of course, this is not my house, and I'm respectful. So, I sit down, I start talking with Stacey. We're in his living room on the couch, and I'm having regular conversations with him. And you hear Sarah kind of put in these like snarky comments, like, remember when you did that to me, or whatever the case may be. It always seemed like interjecting herself into something, but never in a positive manner.
Right.
And so, I thought maybe she's just having a bad day or whatever. And initially on the first time, it nothing big deal besides the attitude and the obvious, like, really upsetness kind of happened. The second time was more serious. So the second time I was with Stacey, they had a guest over, and it didn't look like these two involved in the case. But I don't remember who this was. Again, not that deep for me in the relationship of having with them. But I will never forget when that guy had told Stacey, "Let's go and get something to eat," and Stacey said, "Okay." Well, when Stacey got up, Sarah had grabbed a pot and slammed it against Stacey's head and told him he's not going anywhere. And that floored me. And the other guy and me are sitting there just silent because we're in a weird spot now.
Yeah, that's awkward. It's awkward.
Right.
When it's like that, yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, in that moment, your fight or flight response turns on, because she could have killed him. It wasn't like an abuse of, like, just hit him hard. Like, it was like really damaged him. And so we were naturally, at least me, I was stunned. I couldn't believe I had seen something like that. And then the room was quiet besides Stacey, and it didn't knock him out, but I'm looking at him to make sure he's, like, not unalived, because she hit him so hard, I like right in the front of the head too. And
so the conversation was, you were asking, like, do you want to go get something to eat, or someone?
So I was just talking to Stacey, talking about, since I've known him for 10 years, our stories about being in Montana together. And then the other guy interjected, just saying, "Hey, do you guys want to go get something to eat?"
Right.
And then that's when Stacey said, "Yeah," started to get up, and she just whacked him super hard until it said he's not going anywhere.
Just all of a sudden, like, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, but it was like, if I could describe evil, it absolutely was evil. It just felt so full of hate. Like, there was nothing in the world that felt better to her than hitting him with that pot. I'm telling you.
What was Stacey's reaction to being hit like that?
Well, at first, I mean, he was obviously dazed, and me and the other guy are just staring at him stunned. And he just gets up, and he sits up, he's rubbing his head, and he's saying nothing. He just didn't say nothing. And then it was awkward for like 10 minutes for me and at least the other guy. And then in the moment, for me, I felt if I would have said something, I would have got hit, to be honest with you, because
someone that'll do that in front of just, like, people he doesn't really know to begin with,
right.
She doesn't know to begin with.
Right. And another thing is like, I'm obviously stronger than Sarah, but the thing is she had weapons and knives close by. And again, in the moment, if she's willing to like I said, in my opinion, unalive him with how hard she hit, why would she not do that to a stranger? So, naturally, I didn't say anything either. And then I would say maybe 5 to 10 minutes went by, and then Stacey just started normal conversation. Like, that's an everyday thing. Like, it's just normal. And naturally, I felt super uncomfortable at this point, and I started leading, well, hey, I got to get going because we got work tomorrow, whatever. And I ended up leaving. And so now we're talking about, so we had a meeting because he was going to start doing more than 1 day a week. That's what I had him at doing. So I met him again, and I explained to him, I was like, hey man, I don't feel comfortable being around your wife. Like, what happened was was scary. Like, again, as a normal person, anybody who can do that, I wouldn't put it past it for anything else. So I explained that to him. He talked to me. He's basically like, I don't know what was going on. He's like, she normally isn't like that, especially with strangers. And naturally, I was, of course, still hesitant, but I ended up agreeing. I was like, okay, I'll go to your house one more time. But if there's anything or any sense of trouble, bro, I'm leaving and I'm not going to ever come back. And
around what time was this that all of this happened?
Yeah.
Do you know? Can you remember?
So, like, just time in the day or like a date?
No, like what year? Like, was it the year that Michael came up missing, or?
No, this actually originated right when I started meeting Sarah. So probably about, oh no, yeah, I guess, yeah, about 2 years ago, right? This case has been going on for quite some time.
It's been going on 4.5 years. So it's probably, I would say it had to be 2020. How long were they together? I can't remember. Do you remember, Sam?
Oh, I can't remember
not
either.
an extreme a long time, but probably.
I think they got married in like 2018, 19 or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was for sure only about 2 years ago because I've only known Sarah for roughly 2 years. So,
well, it had okay. Well, it had to be longer. I mean, okay. I mean, Michael's been missing for 4.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you talking about? It had to be.
So wait, the question was to me: was this going on during the Michael Vaughan? Is that what the question was?
No, I was just wondering what year, if you could remember, because it's 2025 now. So this has been 2023. How long has Sarah been incarcerated for already? I'm just trying to pinpoint around the time because she was getting really crazy there for a minute.
She started with the Bibles and all of that stuff.
I know for sure that this was happening before the Michael Vaughan came up. Like this hadn't been a thing yet.
Yeah. So it had to be it had to be before the summer of 2021.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to make a sign here. Joins us for. See, the thing with Stacey, in my opinion, so what happened with Stacey? I knew Stacey was in jail during after the Michael Vaughan happened. I knew he got in a fight in jail, and I went to FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, the jailhouse fight, because you can do that,
right?
And that's when they had sent me his confession, more or less, of what happened in the Michael Vaughan case, and I was not supposed to get that. I got that, and so I know Stacey is capable. I mean, anybody's capable, technically, of unaliving someone or, hurting someone. But I think with Stacey is he will only do it to someone he absolutely knows that's not going to give it back to him.
Right.
Because the person that he did this to in jail, it was like a guy with autism, and he's got his headphones on and he's listening to music and he's soothing himself, how rocking, and I guess that annoyed Stacey, and he gets out of his bed and he comes there and he just hauls off and whoop that guy. It was crazy.
I think he preys on the weak people for sure.
You know,
Thank
and talking about just me knowing him for that long, I could see that making sense because even when we've known each other, and I'm 29 now. Even when I was 18, Stacey was so Stacey was super bullied in the community a lot, and I'm not
Yeah.
giving this as like some again, I'm not Stacey's friend. I don't advocate for him. I don't think he's necessarily a good guy by any means. But that would make a lot of sense to me because he would consistently get bullied. And I actually met Stacey through a guy called David, and David did have some disorders as well. And
Did he die? Did he
David,
die? Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't talked to David since like quite some time. It was just an initial talk to Stacey, but I do always remember Stacey always kind of being extra mean to him versus anybody else.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when sorry, what?
Is David Labor Dave?
Do they call him
No.
Labor Dave?
No.
Okay.
David Loomis. That's his name. David Loomis. He's still in Montana, I think, too.
Oh, okay. This is Montana. Okay.
Yeah. So,
he had told us that he went to a Labor Dave's guy the day that Michael was abducted. So that was why I was curious. He said he went there for work.
Yeah, but yeah, I've outside of like, listen, we're grown men. Me and Stacey have had disagreements, but I'm not a violent guy, but I will tell you, I've never seen him even in our most hot things. Like at work, sometimes, you know, stuff, it's a hot day, it's a long day, you're in labor business. Sometimes you say and do stupid stuff to each other, man, right? But we don't hurt each other. But my point is stuff's got pretty heated between me and him, and I've never had the slightest indication of him trying to hurt me or even really presenting madness towards me. And hearing you say that, because I didn't know about the fight.
Yeah.
But but since I did know him with David and he treated David that way and he had developmental disabilities and Stacey was always bullied because I believe Stacey has, I think it's a lazy eye is what it is, but people have always kind of made fun of him for that. And he would never say nothing, but when he was with David, he would always treat David pretty bad.
Right.
So
yeah, I think he'll just take, he'll bully who he thinks he can bully. You know, who will take it. Who will take it. What other kind of experiences did you have with Stacey and Sarah?
So the most recent, and I would say this is the most really relevant to this case. And I do have my own life, so I know the audience may come at me after what I'm about to say for not reporting or whatever. But it's not that I intentionally didn't say something to somebody, but I think you'll understand once I explain the scenario. But the last time I saw Stacey and Sarah at their house was the last time we ever worked together before I let him go. Unfortunately, he could not keep up with what I needed, and he had fulfilled his goal of helping me when I needed it. So, you know, I talked to him. We were friendly. I went over to his house. We had dinner. And Sarah actually had a male friend over. I don't know who it was, but me and Stacey were sitting at his dining table. He had Sarah and the gentleman were on their couch. And me and Stacey, again, most of our talking is through knowing each other through 10 years of saying, hey, you remember this, whatever. So general chit chat. And then, of course, work. After we get through the work stuff, nothing crazy or nothing out of line has been said. Sarah actually didn't seem to be really mad at the world today, which was like the first time I'd ever not seen her look like she was ready to fight somebody. And so I was like, okay, this is a good note to leave off on. Well, me and Stacey were on our phones, and I'll never forget it. I was on Marketplace, and she starts talking about, she's like, can you believe that this guy didn't get beat up? I would have beat him up. And so I start listening because it's like, you know, there's certain drama you do tone into, and especially when it's violence, you're like, and now I know she's violent, I want to kind of hear it. Well, she starts talking to him, and she starts telling him, you know what I've always wanted to do? And again, now I know it's relevant. But she was like, I've always thought about kidnapping somebody. Like, what do you think that'd be difficult? And that was like,
you're not the only person that's ever said that.
Really?
You're not.
Her ex-husband, we have spoken to, and he said the same thing. She wanted to kidnap someone.
Yeah,
He actually left her because of that fantasy. She wouldn't let it go, and he was done with her. He left her because of it.
Well, I'm glad he got out, to be honest, because without all the extra stuff of this case, just knowing Sarah pre this, that she's a dangerous woman. Like I really truly believe in my heart that she is evil. Like the stuff that I've just seen, the stuff that I hear her say, her demeanor with people, always upset. There's never happiness, and then again, fast forward to now when I'm hearing her talk about kidnapping, regular people don't talk like that. You know what I mean? Like we don't joke about kidnapping or hurting people. That's just not, that's not a thing.
She was the one who came, and according to the affidavit, she's the one who brought Michael into the house, like had him physically, took him, brought him in the house. So,
gotcha.
And the others just absolutely folded. They didn't do the right thing, and they participated. And someone comes into the house with a 5-year-old that you have no idea, and you don't say nothing, like you're dumb as hell.
And I just want to be the devil's advocate in this situation. Like, and just in my opinion, again, I know that I'm physically stronger than Sarah, but the thing is like, even for me, it doesn't matter who it is, right? You got to understand, when you see a woman talking like this, hitting a husband in front of strangers, and then let me continue on because it actually gets
please,
more. It starts to get worse. And so she's talking to this gentleman about kidnapping people. And when she said that to him, it kind of was like, it's almost like he went along with it, but it didn't seem like he was passionate about it like she was. Like, oh yeah, I guess so. Or yeah, that's kind of crazy. And then this was what the straw that broke the camel's back for me and never had me come back. Was after he had said that, I'm not sure if she took his response as like an out of tone or whatever, but she pulls a gun from the side of the couch and pistol whips him in the head. And this is like, I mean, I don't know her relationship with him, but to me, this is again, like her being extremely violent to strangers. Again, I don't know what her relationship was him, but that was like, I thought I was going to get killed in that house. And, or excuse me, unalive. I'm sorry. That situation you're never prepared for. It was so like fast. It was so out of hate and anger. And, she just cussed, she pistol whipped him, cussed at him, started calling him the B word. And she's like, don't quote me on this, because after this had happened, a lot of things were going through my mind, right? Like, I want to leave the house. So it may not be 100% accurate to what she said, but she's like, you're not in this like I am. You don't care, or whatever. It was like she had some sort of mental break. And this guy falls over and his head's bleeding because she doesn't, or I think it hit him in the nose, like at the top of the nose. And he's bleeding on the ground, and he's asking her, why did you do that? And that's when she starts cussing at him. I'm looking at Stacey, and I leave. I didn't even say a word. I ran out the house because I thought she was going to unalive him. And then I'm there, and I'm technically a stranger to her. I'm next. And then she hits Stacey in the head, her husband or her boyfriend. I forget at what point they got married at this time, but regardless, somebody she had been with for this time. It was a terrifying experience. And again, I know the chat's probably going to come for me and say, hey, why didn't you say any of this? But Stacey, because Stacey's has been to my house to fill out paperwork for working for me as a contractor, Sarah knows where I live. And now I've seen Sarah at every level of pure hatred and evilness, and then hit somebody with a GUN.
Right.
So if I say something, regardless of if I can overpower her, I can't beat a GUN. And I absolutely would believe she'd come to my house and use that on me.
Yeah, I mean, she's a loose cannon.
Yeah, and it's just she's so full of evil and hate when she talks. Like there's no, even when we're talking like this to each other, that isn't it. It's you ask her a question like, "How do you know?" It's none of your business how I know. Why do you care? And then it's immediate confrontation. Always looking to be confrontational. And if you say something that doesn't align, which is proven with this guy she pistol whipped, she loses it, man. She just hurts people. She doesn't care about anything. She just wants to be in power, is what it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, it's that me and Stacey stopped talking. I still have messages all through Messenger. He was trying to reach me for quite some time before he got his most recent probation violation, which put him in for the not related Michael Vaughan charge that he's dealing with. I think in Arizona, or he's in a different prison. I forgot what it was, so I apologize. But he'd reached out to me several times on Messenger. Hey man, how you doing? Where you're at? And I didn't respond to him. Like at this point, and it's still pre Michael Vaughan, I don't want to have ties to him because I'm afraid they're collectively together as one.
Right. When what was I going to say? You don't know who the guy was there in the house with?
He was a black male, but I didn't know him. Like again, these dinners I have with Stacey are real, like seriously work related and a little bit of reminiscent. But to be honest, since I never got to a relationship level of like wanting to hang out as friends or doing stuff outside of work, I never really divulged into who he knows or doesn't know because quite frankly, I just didn't care.
Right. Okay.
We're just both sitting here all shocked and stunned and stuff. You know how many times that woman has threatened somebody with a GUN or doing like you're saying? I mean, it's crazy that this woman not only has had charges for being violent over here in Oregon, also in Idaho, and she just constantly got away with it. We heard Stacey Wondra himself talk to us about how she took a shot GUN to him, how she would beat him with pots and pans and everything else. And then you have her ex-husband talking about wanting to kidnap people, and now you're, saying the same thing. So we've got this crazy, violent woman that also has fantasies of kidnapping somebody. Like, I can't even believe you were put in that position, and I'm glad that you got out of the house, because I know if I would have been sitting there listening to all of that and saw all of that, my ass would have gotten out of the house as fast as I could too.
And it's just such a scary situation. You don't expect explosiveness like that. It's altering, especially to your mind. Like your first instinct is to honestly freeze when a gun starts getting involved in a violent manner, right? Like if you can pistol whip somebody in front of somebody you've only seen 3 times, what are you not afraid to do? Like, and so, yeah, I've kind of always been afraid of that woman. Like I always, in the back of my mind, I was always afraid she was gonna take Stacey.
Let's just 1 second. Was you offered any money, any gifts, any Bitcoin, any tofu, any rocks to come up on the program tonight? Just wanted to make sure that's clear.
No, I have not been incentivized or paid anything to be here. No.
Thank you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that. Okay. Anywho.
The chat is being nice and stuff too. Don't worry about, any of that either. Justin has a great chat. So, you're coming forward now and you're talking about it now. And I would have feared for my safety too, had she known where I lived.
Right. And I'm still to this day at the same place, so it's like, what do you expect me to do? The whole situation's just crazy because this is like action movie horror stuff. Like this is not what happens in real life. So it's crazy.
I personally feel like this was, I feel like, I don't know how you feel about this, Samantha, but I still feel like Sarah was the motivator in this, like the brains.
I go
And
back and forth with it all, like who, what, and then so many things change, and then the probable cause affidavit comes out, and you really think of, oh wow, she really could be like the one controlling this entire situation, which
Well,
many other people think the same thing.
well, she had the as this, she had the kitty,
Yeah,
right? I mean, like she's married to Stacey, and she's bonking what Brandon
Adrian and Brandon. Yep.
and Brandon. And so she what's that mean, brother?
Yeah.
Brother.
brother.
So I really think like she's, I don't know, she's a freak. The lab, my friend Josh, I actually asked him if he wanted to come up, but he had some plans tonight. Sarah's ex-husband from a long time ago, he said, like, didn't he say Sarah was like pretty normal, but then she got like crazy after a little while?
Yeah.
And then she started talking about wanting to kidnap people all the time. And it's a very interesting interview. Very interesting interview. Thank you so much, Candace. Appreciate you. Daphne, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Was she on rugs? I think they were all doing rugs, weren't they?
Andrew, did you ever witness them drinking or doing any kind of rugs?
So I never witnessed a Sarah drinking, but I did know Stacey was a big drinker. Stacey, it never affected his work, and he never did it in a manner where I would look into it for sure. But yeah, he's for the last 10 years that I've known him. Yeah, he's always drank.
So there's some new pictures of Brandon that is out. I want to show you. Crap. I don't have him on this phone. Let me put him on my other phone. Let me send him to myself. I was wondering if it could have been Adrian. Do you have a picture of Adrian back then?
From back then?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know.
There's that one of him at supposedly at Applebee's. Remember that one?
Yeah.
So
The only thing that I do remember specifically was he had tattoos. That was for sure. Like I knew he had tattoos, but I would probably recognize him, yeah, if I saw him again, because of course it was such a violent, in the span of what felt like forever, which was more like, 30 seconds after she hit him, I'm looking at this guy again to see if he's, okay. Relatively speaking, of course, but
yeah. Here you go. This is Brandon Shirtlift's new picture, y'all.
Yeah.
This is he is in there for, it says fail to comply. But then he's got, I think he was just transferred. This is
yesterday.
Yeah, one of the guys that was absolutely involved in the disappearance of little Michael Vaughan. Yeah. Oh, the presser does show all 4 of them. What the hell am I thinking?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't recognize Brandon, though.
Let me show you here. Did you ever see the presser for Michael Vaughan? Whenever.
I really, if you want me to be super honest with you, when the Michael Vaughan thing came out, I actually only had seen it. I'm not on social media a lot or the internet, to be honest. So what kind of brought me to it in itself was not only Idaho, but obviously
This
seeing
is
a
Adrian.
familiar place.
And he's got like tattoos right here on his forehead.
Do you know if he has any on his neck at all? Like up on his
Do you know if he has
like
any tattoos
collarbone?
on his neck, Samantha?
Do what?
Because he was wearing a wife beater when he was there, so I noticed the tattoos that were right here. But the guy's hair was a little longer, so I don't think I would have seen that one where his hairline kind of is.
He's got long hair, then he's got short hair, then he's got long. This guy does so.
I do know for sure that the guy I had, or the guy that was there that got hit, did have long hair for sure. It wasn't short hair.
Was his name Caesar?
I didn't hear her say his name. They were just talking, and she said what she said, and then she hit him.
He was like dark complected.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, definitely darker complexion for sure. Part. It was darker than this gentleman that you're showing me here.
Okay. I think they constantly had so many like people in. What about the photo in the hot tub? No, always late. It's definitely not Brandon. The guy Sarah pistol whipped was a black guy or maybe Hispanic.
Yeah, I would have erred on the side of saying more black than Hispanic, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the only and the thing about the pictures are, it's subject to someone can look lighter in some pictures and be darker in others. It can be the lighting, the camera, all the time of year. There's just so many variables. Because to me, in my opinion, Adrian looks lighter here than he normally does.
Okay.
I'm looking, if anybody's got that photo of Adrian at the Applebee's.
It's on my Facebook, Justin.
Can you send it to me? Can you text it to me?
I will find it right now.
Let me see here.
So how long do you think that this happened before you heard that Michael was abducted or that they were suspects? How long a period passed between this incident that rang you out of the house up until you heard that they were suspects and stuff?
Look at this. Oh my God, I did not know he had that many tattoos for some reason.
He's full of them.
Yeah, that's him. That's right, but it would have been with longer hair at the time. That's how I knew.
He had longer hair, and it wasn't braided
from the neck tattoos. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
That's what I remember, but I never saw the hairline one because he had much longer hair.
I mean, the thing there's just not like, Fruitland, Idaho, I'm sure it doesn't have a big African American population.
Right. I feel like that's most of Idaho, and I've been in Coeur d'Alene and Boise as well.
Right. So that's I'm like, how many black guys would they have in their house?
Right. And he was of the same build. He was a very slender guy too, for sure.
Is he super tall?
See, this is very interesting because this kind of tells me, Samantha, that I believe Adrian was there longer than he said.
That's why I'm Okay, so Andrew, I want to explain something to you because it's been very important. It's something that law enforcement hasn't been able to figure out, and that is when Adrian Lucian
You can be very
came
helpful to us.
to, yes, when Adrian Lucian came to Fruitland, Idaho, and started hanging around the Wondras and stuff. The suspects in the case have said it was a week prior, 2 weeks prior, 3 weeks prior, a month, 2 months. So they've lied and lied and lied. And law enforcement, from what I understand, maybe I'm wrong because I'm not privileged to all of the information. I don't want to say they don't know that because they very well might. But from what I have understood, they haven't been able to figure it out. And that was a while back ago. So do you remember around the time that you saw Adrian at their house when this incident occurred? Was it springtime, summertime? Do you know?
It was definitely summer because we were in peak. That's why I needed Stacey's help.
Because you were where?
What was that?
Because you were where?
Well, so we were doing business out here and it was summertime, and that's what made me reach out to Stacey and kind of reignite our I wouldn't call it friendship, but a relationship from Boise to here. So it would have been about summertime, yeah, that this would have been happening. I mean,
okay. Do you celebrate the 4th of July?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Can you remember if this was prior to what you did that summer, the 4th of July, or maybe after 4th of July that summer?
So I believe the best way I can timeline this for you is I think it was at least 3 months before this Michael Vaughan thing happened.
Well, see, Michael Vaughan went missing the end of July, 2021.
Okay, so it would have been like April.
So maybe just a hot spring. And April.
And you'll have to forgive me. I'm from Montana where we have like 11 months of winter. So.
Oh no, you're fine. I'm just, April is actually one of the months that's mentioned by Stacey Wondra in the months that he came when he first started talking on YouTube channels. He actually said, I think he got there in April or May. So, I mean, I'm sorry if we're like bombarding you, but this is like good. Really super important. And if at any time you think to yourself, you know, like after this live, oh my gosh, this incident had happened. I know exactly when it was. Mm-hmm. If that happens, please contact Justin or the tip line, which Justin can get you to the tip line so that we can turn in some information to law enforcement.
Yeah, I think what I can do is I can actually look at my payroll. I just have to go back because I, of course, paid Stacey. So that would kind of give me a better timeline if I went through my payroll in the business.
That would be really, so helpful. Really helpful because the thing because Adrian here, he is a wanderer. He bounces from state to state to state to state. And it just never seemed right that he was there just like a week or two. And they originally said they found him behind a damn dumpster. And then they picked him up from the airport and all of this. And what do you think about, Samantha, about Sarah just like, pistol whipping Adrian? It sounds like they were all almost like just like she was the leader. You know what I mean? Like she's
Queen bee of that house.
Well, I'll tell you one thing for sure is during the time that Stacey would help me, Sarah and Ham were also doing, I think they were just starting to do like a taxi business, I think is what it was. They have like an
Faith taxi.
So they started this like taxi business. I think she had like I think it was a Camry or something. But it was Toyota, what they were.
Corolla.
Yes, right. There we go.
Was it blue?
The blue Corolla.
Yeah, and it was I think it's like a 2019. It wasn't like the newest at the time, but it was like newer body style. I think it'd probably be like a 2019 Corolla or Camry, or no Corolla because it was smaller than the Camry. Right? Yep, that's right. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought on that.
Well, her
No, you're fine.
mom owned the property. Her mom owned the house as well. So that's another thing she had over top of him. Like, I can kick your ass out.
That reminds me of what I was saying. So when you talk about Sarah being the queen bee, without a doubt, Stacey used to have bedtimes he had to be home by. If he was out at work, like if I had him working late, just because naturally sometimes that's what happens, he calls me and he says, hey, can I go home? My wife's getting really upset that I'm working. And I would have to deal with that a couple times. And we actually, the last time he worked for me, his wife was helping us that day. They were on a box truck and we were delivering for Costco. We were dropping off TVs. And he called me, and while she's in the truck with him, she's like, we need to go home. I'm tired. It's time for bed. So we ended up telling him to go meet us at a spot with the truck. I took one truck and my partner took the other truck, and we left him there. We were so upset at them. We were just going to leave him there. This had been a long building thing with Stacey, always happened to be off whenever she says at work. And that just does not work in working lifestyle. And there's actually a police report about the incident that I'm telling you about. Stacey and Sarah called the cops on me and my partner at the time because we left them there on the scene where we took the truck. They started going into to like neighbors' houses and asking for food because they're diabetic. They called the cops saying, hey, these guys dropped us off and we need a ride home. The police called us. It was a huge ordeal. And there's an actual police report of that. I'll look at my payroll for that too. And I can tell you roughly when that report is. And I'm sure you guys could get a hold of that report, and you could kind of see like you can also see that we stated in that she was violent about it too. She's like, get the F back here now. You guys are picking us up right now. I'm a businesswoman. I'll never forget she said that. She said, I'm a businesswoman and you can't do that to us. And the cops ended up getting upset with us because they're going to people's houses asking for food. They're like, can you at least buy them an Uber? And we're like, no, we're not getting them anything. And the cops ended up giving them a ride home. And that was it. Like, it was the craziest thing we'd ever been a part of. But she's a businesswoman, so she knows.
She's the fucking devil is what she is.
Yeah. She's so evil, man. That guy, I think his bedtime was 8 or 9 o'clock, I think is what it was every time too.
If you fast forward through this, it's going to come up here in a second, Justin, but it talks about her Faith Taxi and when she changed the name over to Faith Taxi, and it's in March. Well, it's in March, and he's saying that he thought around March.
That's about right.
And he said, yep, here it is right here about the Faith Taxi.
Hey, this is Sarah Wondra, owner of Faith Taxi LLC in Fruitland, Idaho. We are going to be rapidly growing. So please, if you have a car and are in the Treasure Valley, even all the way to Boise, I am going to be needing possible part-time drivers for now. Working on your own availability, use your own car, keep your own proceeds, 1099, be your own boss in a sense. We work a bit different around here than your typical taxi. Please, no messages on this post about the job. If you want to inquire, please inquire, or please call Sarah directly. No text, only calls on this matter. No one gets approved without Sarah's approval to drive, although she is very fair. Have a nice day.
You want to know what's interesting is I've never seen this post, but one of the last things I ever heard from Stacey about the taxi, and this would make sense why this was made, is when Sarah would give him quote unquote bedtimes and he wouldn't be back, she always thought that he was up to something, even when he was working. And I specifically remember he used the taxi service sometimes when she was at home, or I forget what his story was. But when he would do taxi service by himself, Sarah would always accuse him of cheating.
Well, because
Always.
he was the one that was always cheating. I mean, Stacey, he's not gonna be eating any Putin he's gonna be raiding a fucking refrigerator. The only thing
Right.
that's gonna be
No,
eating.
exactly. The only thing he's running out of is breath into the fridge. There's no,
Yes.
he's not, yeah, like that's crazy because I guarantee that this post was made to prevent him from leaving the house. And again, for the people that are just coming in here too, I'm not advocating for Stacey's part in this at all. I think him not saying something and this whole thing happened to this poor boy is horrendous and unforgivable.
It
And
is absolutely
but
unforgivable.
Sarah, and I'm talking about this just to what Sam had said. She had full control. Like there wasn't nothing Stacey could do. He had to approve when I asked him to work with me, he'd say I have to ask my wife. When we had to eat, he said my wife has to set a time. You know, when he was doing the taxi thing, hey, my wife thinks I'm cheating on her on this taxi thing. Like these are just yeah, I don't know. Sarah is absolutely a demon on earth. She, you know, and
There you go.
it's she's just a bad person.
We'll get you there.
Yeah, and to go back just a little bit, I think maybe we should try to find out that that police report from that incident that you were talking about earlier. Like that would give us a really good timeline and stuff. Yep, there's Adrian.
See, that it looks like him, but when his tattoos for sure, when his like when that previous one you showed me where he didn't have the shirt, the tattoo is absolutely the same guy for sure.
He can. I mean, he.
Do you remember what the tattoo was? Oh, sorry, Justin.
No, you're fine. He looks so different all the time. Like in the pictures, he looks so different. Like, his sister is like a runway model. Like she's stunning. Like she's pretty famous.
Yeah, she's a model. She's beautiful.
Yeah, but now this was his recent picture. I mean, he looks like a scrounged rat.
Kind of looks like a crackhead.
.com.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, man, it's bad.
But to answer your question, though, he has okay. At the risk of sounding kind of messed up saying this, was kind of hard to discern exactly in detail what his tattoo was because his complexion was close to the tattoo coloring. You know, like it's kind of difficult. And in the moment, I just remember exactly that same how it sat right on his neck. And that's what I said before you showed me the picture is, you know, I recognize him by a neck. Did he have a neck tattoo? And I 100% recognize a neck tattoo because, again, he was in like a skimpy, you know, wife beater that's like it looks like it was pulled on, you know, like it wasn't a good fresh one. So you could see pretty much all the tattoos.
I swear I think Sarah wanted to occult. I swear I do, Sam. Like she wanted these, I don't know, like she after they did this to Michael, unforgivable, unspeakable, keeps me up at night, literally. She would go out and put up a sign and stand, the end is near. She would get out go to the Dollar Tree Bibles and buy boxes of the dollar Bibles and just hand them out. And she, Sam, what was it? She did, I think, 11 or 13 TikToks in 3 years before Michael went missing. After Michael went missing in like 2 or 3 months, she did over 350.
From September 15th to December 24th, she did 326 videos on TikTok when she had only done 11 on both her TikTok and her Facebook in 3 years. Yes. And I don't know about a cult. I just know from my own experiences, I kind of touched about this on my life earlier, that my mom was in and out of mental institutions my entire life, and I've seen mental illness firsthand. I was raised watching it. And whenever my mom would kind of like check out a little bit and would have to go to a mental facility or something, she would start talking about the end of days, the end of the world, start talking about revelations from the Bible and all of this other stuff. And Sarah really reminded me of that, because obviously something bad happened to Michael, and she either did it or witnessed it. And there's going to be some kind of trauma, whether you witnessed it or did it. And I really think Sarah checked out. And if you follow mental health, it's not unusual for a person who would check out, if, having traumatic trauma here, to lean on God, think you're hearing God. I mean, because you're gone. Your mental stability is gone. And we know she had to go into a facility for her mental health and get put on medications to kind of like bring her back so that she could even go to court. So when you watch those TikToks, and I watch them from beginning to end, and I'm talking hours and hours, like, over 320 videos, and some of them are very long, you can watch her mental health diminish drastically to the point where she's writing the Bible verses on her arms.
I think she thought if she would, become like religious extremism, that she might be able to be forgiven of what she did. I think
that very well could be.
I think that's what drove her over the edge. Did you ever hear Stacey and Sarah talk about having kids?
I've never heard them talking to each other about having kids, but Stacey had mentioned a time or two about her wanting kids, but him not.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't like a deep conversation, It was just something, like, how are you guys doing? What's new? And he would be like, well, Sarah was talking about having kids. And I'm like, well, what do you think, man? And then he's like, I'm not really interested in having kids. I don't think I can handle it. And that was kind of always his.
Yeah. He told us, I think he said he couldn't have kids. He said he got a bull smashed one of his nuts or something.
He did say, though, that he didn't want kids, and that Sarah was the one that wanted kids.
Yeah, that absolutely is what he would say to me when it was in passing, for sure. I've never heard of the bull nut thing, though.
Yeah. Thank God they never procreated. Now, Sarah does have a child, though, doesn't she? She has one or two. How many? I can't remember, Sam.
I believe her ex-husband said that she had a child,
when she was
allegedly had a child that she put up for adoption or something. I don't know all of the details on that. I don't think it's two, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So this makes me think it's around April, Sam.
Yeah, around March, April. He was saying that it was sometime around the Faith Taxi thing, and that kind of makes sense because she's making the post and changing, her name to Faith Taxi around the 16th of March. And we know Stacey originally, way back in the very first of doing his interviews, said that Adrian came to Idaho in April or May.
Yeah, but I want to know how they met. That's the thing. Like,
well, Dan Guthrie told me that Brandon told him that Sarah and Adrian knew each other before he came to Idaho, that they actually met each other on an app. And when I confronted Brandon about that, he told me I don't remember saying that. I don't think I said that, and that was about it. Because I believe they knew each other before he came to. I do not believe that she just picked him up from behind a garbage can. I believe that she picked him up from the airport, and I believe that's how Adrian got to Idaho to begin with. And if they had met each other on an app, it would make more sense. And then, you know, we've also heard that there was a Craigslist ad in the paper that the Wondras were looking for a roommate, and that Adrian contacted them through Craigslist. Now, could that have been the app that Brandon was talking about? I don't know.
I see Craigslist is shady stuff. There's some shady stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if, because someone was telling me in chat yesterday that the human trafficking stuff, that they will put certain codes in their ads.
Yeah, well, traffickers use codes in Facebook, on Instagram. They use the codes and stuff everywhere when they're using the internet.
You know what was interesting though about, and this was Stacey, one I know him in Montana as well, but Stacey and Sarah have typically not always ever had money. It seemed like they always were broke, but they were always trying to find ways to make money. It did not matter what it was. Did not matter what it was. They're always trying to scheme a way to make money at any cost.
Yep. And that's, I mean, they had, do you remember them having Wondra's Lube? What's it called?
Their other business. It was their Wondra Lube shop or Wondra's
Lube.
Okay, so I wasn't a part of this, but I do know of this because before he did the taxi thing, he had told me he had a business before, and I asked him, and he did say it was a lube thing. But I'm pretty sure it was from what he explained to me, it was just he put an ad out there and he would do something for, a car mechanic work. But I've never known Stacey to really be able to tell you the difference between the front and back of his hand. So I thought that was a lie.
That's not lube, by the way. That's my vape juice.
Justin.
That's right.
I love your chat.
Lube. Ryan just
no,
lube, and I just went.
They did have a Wandra's Lube. It was just a little lube shop, but I don't think that they had that business for very long at all. Actually,
no.
Justin, I'll be right back with you.
Okay? Over a shop vac. That's what he told us.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
No, you're fine. You're good. He told us that he got in a fight with the owner over a shop vac, but I don't think he had it very long. And then Sarah started a laundry service. Did you ever know about that?
No, I did not. Unfortunately, I never heard of the laundry service till you saying it right now.
Yeah. So, do you know any details about do you know how the story goes with Michael Vaughan? I mean, you listened to some of it yesterday, but did you keep up with it?
Not to sound non-empathetic, but to be honest, I've seen bits and pieces as I've been on social media and stuff like that, but I don't really cruise looking for news, to be honest with you. But since I saw this yesterday, it was yesterday, I've kind of more or less looked into it. And the gist of what I understand is this child, and just correct me after if I'm wrong. Again, forgive me for any misinformation. Again, this is more brief to me looking through, but I understand that this kid was basically outside. In essence, they grabbed him, and I'm shortening everything. They grabbed him, brought him to the house, and then I just found out through your stream yesterday what happened after the fact of them getting there.
Correct, more or less. Yeah. Yep. That's he got out. He snuck out the garage. His dad Michael has a younger, there was an infant sister at the time, and he was changing her and ordering pizza and all that. And you know how kids sneak out, and he was
Right.
trying to find some playmates in the neighborhood. But the reason I brought up the laundry business was because Brandon, who was there, he said that he took a duffel bag full of laundry to his mother's house, and he was going to do laundry there that day. And we always asked him, well, why would you do laundry at 30 minutes away at your mother's house when Sarah, who you was living with at the time, has a laundry service? So I wasn't sure if you knew anything about the laundry.
You know, I
service.
again, I didn't know about that, but something you got to understand about like Stacey and even before Sarah is like it was like high promise, low give. You know,
Delivery.
like we can, right, like we can always do this for you. We can always do, but everything they did was like super inefficient, or it just for them it always
Just ride by
from
the
the
seat of their
outside looking
pants.
in.
Very
Right.
impulsive. They're very
Right.
impulsive.
It didn't make sense. It felt like they were trying to tell you, hey, we're the best in the world, but didn't know what they were doing.
They had no idea what they were doing.
Right. And again, that goes with the thing of like always wanting to make money, but never having money. We try a million different things and it gets nowhere.
Yeah. And so in the Sam, are you back?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You know, we didn't know yesterday. I mean, they had talked about selling Michael, and I wouldn't put it past them. I would not put it past them because they were lazy overall, and they wanted just a quick buck, and they never thought of repercussions
Right.
at all.
And they were only to profit, according to Stacey Wondra, $10,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like not a lot of money to be
Not for that
involved in
trouble.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Not
mean?
for that trouble. Definitely. You know,
I-
and something's really interesting is, yes, you were absolutely right. They were so lazy, but I do want to let people know something, and yourself is like, they were so lazy that basic hygiene didn't exist either for either of them. Their house was always stinky. And let me tell you something. This is the first time I've ever seen this on a human being. When Stacey was working for me, when he would get into our truck, he almost had what looked like green moss growing on the back of his calves. Like, it was absolutely disgusting. So it also floors me that he, being such an unmotivated, lazy individual, would even, this is a thing, you know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't surprise me at all. I've talked to one of his roommates before, and the room that he was sleeping in when he moved out was just absolutely disgusting. There were, you know, spit cans and bottles and stuff from him chewing, and where he had to put his spit and all of that, and just, it was just really bad. She had to get rid of everything that was in that room because the room stunk so bad.
Yeah,
well, I wouldn't put it past him to do even pee bottles and stuff like that, to be honest with you.
Oh God, gross.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So this is our friend Josh from the lab. I want to just show you this briefly. This gentleman in the box here with the wolf, he came up, and this has probably been a year or so ago. This gentleman was married to Sarah back then. He seems like a really down-to-earth guy. And he kind of talks about Sarah, and what you said, it also may raise some memories for you. But he talks about her talking about kidnapping. Do you have a minute? Can you stay here a few more minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Her when I lived in Texas.
Okay, because there was talk of her going to Texas.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So ultimately 6 months. How long were you guys together before that?
On and off. We knew each other for about 2 years.
Okay. And then you got married, and obviously no kids. I'm
No,
assuming
sir.
you
God,
didn't
no.
You didn't get your nuts crushed by a bull.
No, no, I actually have a son and a daughter, so my nuts are just fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So,
Thank you, sir.
I mean, if you don't mind, what ultimately led to the divorce?
Well, she had a meltdown about me not being able to give her any children because I wasn't trying to. And basically, she had me incarcerated under false accusations. And so I basically told.
Now, this is something that when she would get mad, like at Stacey or whatever, she had Stacey put in jail because of the GUN.
Right.
That he had, because Stacey likes the GUNs,
Yeah.
and he's already a felon. So
I want you gone. I want a divorce, and inevitably, that's what happened.
And is that
we to pause it at any time if y'all want to cut in and talk? Okay.
that's something you guys fought about a lot?
Well, our marriage was only 6 months, but no, sir, it wasn't a lot of fighting.
Yeah. So what she wanted you to give her a kid. Same thing that you heard. And what is it? She just wanted to be a mother. I mean, was that it?
She had a daughter when she was 17 years old. The story she told me, I cannot confirm this to be true. I can only say what she told me. She said Ed and Kay Ramsey made her give her child up for divorce because they were not going to take care of her and her daughter.
Oh, you mean for adoption?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can't confirm, but what she told you is that at one time she did have a child.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but and you can't confirm that, and so let's just make that clear. And that she was forced to give up the daughter for adoption. Her parents made her do that?
Yes, sir. Her adoptive parents.
Okay. And do you know how old she was when that allegedly happened?
So wait a
17.
minute, what?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Justin.
Guys, we got 978 in here. We only got 442 likes. Come on, y'all. Hit that thumbs up. Please.
Hit it
please.
for Justin. So he's saying that Sarah is also adopted?
I think she is adopted.
So I knew that about Stacey. I don't remember ever knowing that about Sarah. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Sorry.
Yep. I do believe she is adopted. Thank you for being 443. Passion. Appreciate you. Justin, did you get my link to the leaked video? Depends on which leaked video, my dear. Summer's Army coming in clutch. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Appreciate you. You never met Sarah's mother, did you?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
No, I've actually never. Funny enough, I've never met either of their parents ever.
Okay. Yes, I think Stacey's mom. She lives. Where does she live? Montana.
I'm not sure. They had a house in Montana and then they moved, and I don't know where they live now.
Yeah, even during the whole time that I knew him in Montana, I've never seen a parent. I was never, like, even when we were talking in passing, I've never been to his house. I didn't know where he lived. He was just always around again. So I've never even met his parents, let alone Sarah's.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good.
Was she very religious?
No, absolutely not.
That changed.
So that was kind of new. Okay, I got you. That's
yes,
all
sir. Very new.
Okay. You think she's capable of what she's been accused of?
It's funny you asked me that because the detective did ask me what I thought about it. And I said, when it comes to kidnapping, yes, she is capable of it. I don't know if she's capable of murder. I can't say that she is.
She ever talk about kidnapping?
Listen.
Yes.
With you,
that's one of the things that's one of the things that led to me saying "C'est la vie."
So she wanted to kidnap a kid.
No. She just talked about kidnapping in general, never anything about children.
Wow. And what would she say?
Oh, well, she would talk about mainly just, how it would be interesting to have someone to go into some stranger's house and basically take control of them, you know, be able to tie them up. And I told her, I said, you need to seek professional help. That's not normal.
Wow. I mean, that is, yeah, you're right. That's not normal. And you just must have, I mean, were you just shocked by that?
I was scared by that.
And was this towards the end of your marriage?
Yes, sir.
You get how he says he was scared?
Do you think that she?
Yes.
You know, just like Adrian, I'm so sorry, Andrew here is talking about, you know, being scared, wanting to get the hell out of that house when she saw Sarah hit somebody in the house with a GUN. And what did you say that his response was after he got hit?
He just started talking normal. He had recovery time and then it was back to talking time. Like, it's just something that happens. Like, he didn't yell at her. Like, he just said, why did you do that or whatever? And then it just became normal conversation. Like, it was regular. And something people need to understand too is like, there's something about Sarah that makes you afraid. It's not just threatening with the GUN. It's not just seeing her hit somebody with the pot. Like, there's something about her.
I don't think there's a lot behind her eyes. I can't think of the psychological term of it right now, but it's the.
Well, she's a psychopath. She's a narcissist.
Yeah,
well,
but something.
Yeah, it just seems like she's almost demonic. Like, there's something about her presence that just is danger. You know, like, you always, like, your senses are up. And again, even before I witnessed her hurt people, when I went in the house, the first meeting, like I said, it's just really bad, pissed off, mad. Like, it I don't know, but it was just pure hate and malice is what it felt like. Like, there was no other purpose for her there than to hurt people. And again, when you start introducing, you know, things that you can really harm somebody with, it gauges it up more and more. And then, you know, ultimately the GUN was the final straw. Like, that's not a toy. That's not a joke. That's not a game. Right. And just having the hate and almost demonic feeling with her around it's very cumbersome on you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go out in public with Sarah anywhere?
No.
To go hang out or anything?
Never.
So it was always at their house?
Yeah, I did not like her. I did not like her from the beginning. Again, I had to be convinced to come back to his house after the original pot incident. And even though I'm not Stacey's friend, I don't want to see another human get hurt like that. Right. And then I can't do nothing about it because I'm afraid it'll escalate and I'm in somebody else's house. Because of course I would have defended anybody getting hurt by another individual in that, especially in that manner. But I'm telling you, it sounds silly, but there is something about Sarah that really puts fear in you. Like, there's something wrong. It's not right. It's like if the room gets darker. Like,
yeah, the way her ex here says that, you know, he was scared, just the way he says it is just so intense. Like, you really know for sure, like, he's terrified of her.
Right. And this was years ago, like, that they were together as well. So, I mean, I think she's always been like this. And not only that, her mother has helped her get out of things, like lied for her. It said in the affidavit yesterday that Sarah's mother has actively lied to try to benefit her to get out of crimes.
Yeah, we know this isn't the first time that she's threatened people with a GUN either. Stacey, the Pizza Hut or pizza guy that came over to their house, she was going to get him too with one. And then, you know, she's currently sitting there in prison right now for holding a GUN to some guy's head and threatening to unalive him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, you know, you'd think of Adrian, and Adrian, like, he's literally goes from DC to Pennsylvania to Ohio to California, Idaho. Like, he's in all of these states in front of like all of these different people. And, you know, I've always thought of him as kind of like a little street, you know what I mean? Like, but between this, what you're saying, you know, knocking him, you know, pistol whipping him, and then he was also found in a closet when the police showed up at their door.
Sounds like you're forward.
You're can't hardly hear you, Sam.
Oh, I said it sounds like he's a coward.
Yeah, or something. I mean,
Not the
it
thug
just-
that everybody believes him to be.
it's just amazing to me how Sarah was, you know, telling Stacey what to do, telling Brandon what to do, Adrian what to do. But let's listen to here. Just listen to him, because basically what you two both say is pretty on point.
Would cover up an accident, like say something went wrong and when they were kidnapping Michael, and you know, say it wasn't intentional homicide or whatever, you know, say it wasn't that. Could you see her covering that up?
Yes, sir.
She ever abusive towards you?
Yes, sir.
So, because I've heard reports that she would hit Stacey with like pots and pans and things like that.
I've been beaten by that woman before.
Well, I did not know Josh said that in this. So apparently she's beating with pots and pans before as well.
I guess that's her go-to.
I guess.
That's crazy. I didn't actually know about Sarah's previous life, but with all due respect, I didn't care, right? But that's
Right.
crazy that he would say that, because again, you're right, that the kidnapping thing's crazy too. Because she exactly what he said though, she never said children. Like, that conversation never had children involved. It was just general kidnapping just before she pistol whipped him. But
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's crazy. Then yeah, she's been doing pots and pans is just a thing.
It's crazy.
Wow.
And I mean, I don't want to seem agitated or anything, but I'd rather not talk about it. It's just not something I want to relive.
I don't blame you. Not a problem at all. You don't want to answer a question. You don't want to talk about something. That's totally fair. I appreciate you coming up and even
years
talking. So Sarah was talking about kidnapping with you, had talked about kidnapping, and you were just totally thrown off by the whole thing.
Yes, sir.
And you wanted it, and you initiated the divorce.
Yes, sir, I did.
Was it not that it matters, but was it an annulment or a divorce?
It was a divorce.
And how did she take the news when you wanted to divorce?
A meltdown, of course. As a matter of fact, I was incarcerated at the time that I told her about it, and the deputies had to escort her out of the building because she was causing a disturbance.
Yeah.
In the jail?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so she has a temper.
Absolutely.
But she never talked about God with you or anything like that?
No, sir. I'm not really what you would call religious. I do believe in God, but I'm just not a Bible thumper.
Right. And so was it news to you when you found out that she was now?
Yes, it actually was. It was a huge shock.
But were you surprised at all when you heard that she was a suspect in this case?
I really was. I wasn't expecting anything like that to spill on my doorstep because, you know, the time the detective had contacted me, I had just found out that I was going to be a father with my firstborn, my son.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
Okay, so you had just found out that you were going to be a father. Was she ever around any of your children?
No, sir. It's been over 12 years since I've known her.
So even 12 years ago, she had mentioned kidnapping. Was it more than
Yes.
once?
Yes, sir. It was on numerous occasions. That's why I said, I need to get away from this woman.
Good Lord. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Did she ever try to get you to do anything like that with her?
No, sir.
Yeah. Not that you would have went along with it anyway, but it a lot of people's theory is that she was the ringleader of what was going on, and that people kind of were just going along with what she did.
I can see that. I honestly can, because she always had to be in control of the situation when it comes to anything.
Yep. I agree with
but
that.
she never specifically mentioned kidnapping a child.
No, it was never a child. It was just like I said, she's a control freak. So, I guess she would let it slip, or maybe that's just something she gets off on, but she would always bring up kidnapping a person and having control over them. She has to be in control.
And that's what you dealt with as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And a temper when things didn't go her way.
Yes, sir.
Was she a hard worker? I mean, was she a neat freak? What was she? What was she like in the house?
No
was
job.
She respectful of
and
people?
Sat on her butt. No, sir. She had no respect for anyone.
So she was rude to people in your presence.
That's something like you said when you met her the first time, like she was just like, hey, most people are like, hi, nice to meet you.
Right.
They're
welcoming into their home, especially. Yeah.
Right. But that's not who she is. She's just, I don't know. There's just something wrong with her.
Yeah, it's like she was mad I was there, or you know what I mean? Like it was, yeah.
It was probably not her idea to have you there. It was Stacey's, and I think it was Sarah's way or no way. And if it wasn't her idea, it wasn't her way. You know what I mean? Like everything needed to be ran by her, just like he's saying, controlling to the point of no one does anything, no one goes anywhere, nobody eats anything, nobody drives the cars, nobody takes a taxi service ride, nobody does nothing unless I say so.
Yeah. You didn't run it by me that you was bringing someone home, Stacey, perhaps, and so
right. And I think that probably was the case, especially since we've known each other for so long. It would be pretty normal to be like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, you want to come over, whatever, right. I think that would be probably my response to a friend. So I think that's exactly what happened.
And like I said, her mother was the one that owned the home, and I mean, Brandon could have went somewhere, yes, but Adrian and Stacey, they wouldn't have had as much of an option, would they have, Samantha?
No, I think that everybody in that house did what she wanted them to do.
Yeah, it's just very interesting.
I'm just sitting here like, if that was Adrian sitting on that couch and he's pistol whipped and he didn't do anything, I'm just sitting there thinking about him, the people that he hangs out with, the life that he's had, and I just can't believe he wouldn't just stand up and be like,
I mean, because I'll tell you something, I don't care if it's a woman or a man or something. Someone pistol whips me.
Yeah. I instinctively thought he's going to get up and try and like physically fight her, but it wasn't that at all. And I don't know if, and I use this term loosely, he knew that I'm there and he doesn't know me. So if he does something, he doesn't know what I could say or do.
Right.
But I mean, when a stranger like me sees somebody use a GUN on somebody, and I've seen her 3 times and I've only seen hateful stuff, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not getting to the end of that GUN. Like,
sure.
Like,
well, Stacey and Sarah were Adrian's meal ticket. He had a free ride going on there. I
Right.
mean, Stacey said that he was paying rent and then not paying rent and hardly paying rent, making promises to paying rent. So if he had done anything to Sarah, she would have kicked him out of the house and he wouldn't have had anywhere to go.
yeah, it's true. I get that.
And Brandon, he was in a sexual relationship with Sarah, and Adrian was too, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just it's very weird. It's very weird how it's just very weird how it all worked out. I don't know. There's something wrong with her. There's something wrong with all of them. Every fucking one of them, as far as I'm concerned. They're all insane. They all are. I mean, but it kind of tells me a lot, like these things going on, like hitting, like she's knocking him with a pistol and pots and pans, and this is not just one person saying this is multiple people saying this.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not doing anything about it. So she brings a kid home, a child from the neighborhood, a 5-year-old child, a human being, and they're just like, oh, go with it. It's just weird. That's just weird to me.
Just like Shannon said in the chat just now, just knowing Adrian's background and knowing he didn't do anything to Sarah, he must have been scared of her.
Well, I can only imagine if you're absolutely right, Justin, on the fact that it would be the most undescribable. Like, I can't believe this is happening if somebody brought a random kid home that
Right.
you've never seen, right? But like, in my vision, just with my experience with her, I would be very shocked if she didn't probably threaten everybody in the room, because there's no way people didn't think what we're thinking. Like, who's this? And she's in too deep at this point. The kid's already in her home.
But this is the thing. They were helping her throughout the day. They were hunting for a child. They were hunting for someone.
Okay.
This is the thing. And that's why, now thinking after you said that, I thought, well, yeah, they were hunting all day, because Stacey, he went to the park, sat, and he had went to the splash pad down there. He saw some kids. He got out of his car, and he said his snuff rolled over, and he said, I'm a big boy and I can't reach my stuff. But the affidavit says he just got out of his car and is like he was checking the door handle. Right? If you're a man like that and you don't have kids or anything, you don't need to be in a child's park like that. And then literally an hour and a half later, there's a child abducted, less than 100 feet away, and you're the one that did it, part of it. So I don't know. I unless she convinced them that this was a good idea, that they can make money or something like that, which is just so ludicrous to even say, because normal rational people don't think like that. But this isn't normal and this isn't rational. So
outside of just wanting money, I thinking about how Sarah's mother owned that house. Besides their car payment, I'm curious what they needed all this money for. Like, what are they funding? Because I knew that when he worked with me, they had like those, I think it's called like Straight Talk or whatever from Walmart, at the time. So, and that's like $45 a month. And if you aren't if her mom owns the house, they've got to have some crazy low rent, and maybe they got these roommates just to have extra income. Like I don't understand, because they never had nice things. Like the Corolla was like the nicest thing I've ever seen either of them have, or Stacey,
Right.
for 10 years, and her for the time I knew her.
Well, I mean, they didn't have, nice furniture or anything like
Right.
that. I mean, I think. What do you think they spent their money on, Samantha?
I think they spent their money on fast food,
Yeah.
rugs, and whatever Sarah wanted is what I think. But mostly, I think Stacey himself even said they spent hundreds and hundreds every week on just fast food and ordering food, going
Stacey
out.
drank how many gallons of milk a day?
I don't know. I think somebody said once that it was like 3 gallons of milk a day, or
think he
he
said,
did
yeah, something like that.
2 or
I
3.
mean, when he got out, there was a couple. He had conned some people into feeling sorry for him, and they let him have a room, and they would always kick him out because they said in one day, like, they would come home and there was no food in the refrigerator. Like, that wasn't the deal. You was just to have your room, but he would clear out the whole refrigerator in a day. Just nothing.
And so, just for reference for some people in here, that's I'm going to give you a very good gauge on how actually large Stacey was. So we used to have Isuzu, or no, not Isuzu. They're called Hino box trucks, and they're the ones where your steering wheel can go pretty much up to the window, and you drive these 26-foot commercial box trucks, right? We had the steering wheel all the way almost touching the entire window. And when he would get in, his stomach would wrap around the bottom of the steering wheel. And so I asked him, are you going to be able to drive like that? And he's like, yes. And after his first day, he was such a large man that he had a bruise of a steering wheel in his stomach, enveloping the steering wheel during his driving, because it would just rub and push into him.
Yeah, he was pushing over 600 pounds at one time.
Yeah, that was probably when he had the green slime growing on his legs or whatever that was.
Yeah, ew. Yeah, and I mean, and washing his legs was probably really hard for him, having to bend over and stuff to. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, he had always consistently walked kind of like a penguin. It had to be side to side. It was never like a regular stride for the entirety of me knowing him, to be honest with you.
Whenever he was at work with you and stuff, did Sarah call him a lot or message him a lot or ask him where he was or what he was doing or when he was going to be home?
So that would always come later in the day. Like, again, he would call me, hey, again, sometimes when you're working sometimes things take a little longer, especially if you're slower at them, right? So, we get towards the end of the day, like 8:00, and that's when things are like, hey, my wife's calling. She's getting really upset. Can you take over the rest of the shift? Or whatever the excuse may be. I'm really hungry and I'm diabetic. I got to go eat something. Can I have money in advance? And then when he'd ask for money in advance too, he would always say, me and my wife need food. Mm-hmm. So it was always towards the end of the day, but he definitely had a curfew from Sarah for sure.
Have you seen the new photo of him?
No.
Let me show you this.
I'm imagining it's stomach and kneecaps.
No.
Oh, really?
Actually, no, it's kind of
the opposite.
Oh, whoa.
Yep.
It looks like he's lost tremendous amount of weight.
Yes. I mean, I've got photos of him humongous. I showed some yesterday, I think. Just absolutely humongous he is. And
I've never actually known Stacey to have a neck.
Right.
Well,
right. I mean, he's.
That's unbelievable. That's crazy that that's even the same person.
I know.
Yeah, this picture came out when they charged him with the charges on Michael. Just October 31st.
I feel like you to lose. How do you think that's even possible without drugs? Or sorry, yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You can say drugs. You can say drugs.
I wondered if he was getting them in jail and something too, but I've also heard that they have a very strict diet at the prisons in Arizona. But I mean, like, I don't know.
Right. But when you are that big, your body thinks it needs certain things, and you can go through, from what I understand, almost like withdrawals, something like that. Like, I mean,
I've got a photo of him. He had to be on drugs before, because I think Stacey likes the math. She's been known to use the math.
That would make sense for weight.
Too, he may not have been getting money in commissary for anything and was only living off of the Arizona prison food.
Well, I've got some photos of him.
Well, isn't there a special diet that diabetics get? Kind of like
he was like how they're diabetic, I think.
Oh, I don't even know if he was a diabetic. I thought Sarah was a diabetic.
Well, that time I kicked him out of my truck, they both claimed to be diabetic. They said that we need food now, and that's when they started going to people's houses asking for food.
They seem like, I think if I remember correctly, they are the type that go to like the food banks, like just not that they necessarily needed it, just because it was free. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
So I was trying to see here. Oh, actually, you know what I did? I put this one.
You guys should have seen that Corolla, though. It was always full of drinks and empty food bags, and the back seat was basically non-existent.
Oh, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine that Corolla. Did they have the what was it? The Escalade?
I never seen an Escalade during at least the time in Idaho. No.
Okay. Was it the maroon GMC truck?
I don't actually remember ever seeing him with anything besides a Corolla. No, actually, at one point he had a smaller sedan. I don't remember what it was.
It was was it like a little whiter cream color?
Yes, yeah, but I don't remember if it was.
That was a Toyota.
Oh,
it was
okay.
It was an older Toyota, but it was good taken care of from the outside, from what I remember.
Yeah, okay, that would make sense, because when he first started work, the first time I ever called him for work, that was the car he showed up in. But I've never seen an Escalade. I've never seen a truck. I've just seen that, and then Sarah's Corolla that she used for the taxi business.
Got you.
So would you be shocked, Andrew, to learn that the GMC truck that they drove to Cuna to tow back Brandon Shirtleff's car before it got repoed was completely clean and immaculate on the inside?
Zero chance. Zero chance. There, before Sarah's was Stacey, his life has always been like this. This wasn't some recent thing. Like when I met him when I was 18, oh my gosh. Well, how big was that red GMC? Was it like a single cab, or what size was it? Do you know?
I think it was I know it had front and back. I can't remember if it was a 4-door or not, but it was a pretty big truck. But in the new affidavit that came out when the truck was repoed, the repo place said that the car had been cleaned, recently cleaned. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Opal, for that question in chat. That was a good question for Andrew.
Yeah, no, absolutely not, though. There's no way in any world that their cars were clean, ever. None of them.
Mm.
Even before, again, Sarah, Stacey's car were always full of to-go McDonald's drinks or whatever fast food restaurant, slammed to the brim, always.
Well, that
Yeah, and that
says
kind of
something.
makes sense with what we know of them, not being very clean or,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, that says something. Sorry, I'm trying to find a photo. So
And you know what? It's crazy you asked me that, because I am so sure that is. I would put $10,000 straight up to say that that's not going to happen. That's how sure I am. Like there's no. I thought that was almost a joke when it was asked to me. That's how crazy that would be for me to see them have a clean vehicle.
okay, look at here. I was I called out Mr. Stacey months ago, a while back ago, because before he went to jail, he was under Dathan Morris.
Yeah.
He was under
His fake Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
His new one that he made while he was in, or no, was it before or while in prison?
It was a 2005 GMC Sierra 1500 SLE.
Do we know how long he would have had that truck? Was it just in Idaho times, or do we know that? Because the only reason I asked that is the first time I ever met him was in a red truck. It was actually the time he got caught having guns when he wasn't supposed to. That's actually how I found out about the gun thing, because it was the first time I'd ever met him. And it was in a red truck, and I'm just trying to, maybe it's not the same one, but it was for sure a red truck. That's why I was curious. It's been so long. Again, it's been, substantial amount of time.
I think I've got a picture of this the car.
And I'm not sure when he got the truck, but after Michael was abducted, the truck did get repoed. And yeah, I'm not sure. I know they got rid of a Tahoe to then get a truck, the big red truck.
I forgot about this surveillance. I have this surveillance somewhere. Right here. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that Escalade, but yeah, that's the car.
Yep. There's that one. There's that one. I think that's the other one too. But look how big Stacey is. I mean, watch him how he walks. He waddles.
Yeah, just like I was saying. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's the back of his calves. I think it's from circulation. They're almost like blue or green.
Yeah. Yeah. They looked like, when I seen it, I swear it was like moss or slime. It was pretty bad. And I only noticed it because when he was trying to get in the truck, because you have to step up on these side ladder style things, he fell off, and I came up to give him a push so he wouldn't fall backwards. I almost snapped my arms off, but I got him in there.
God. What else? I still want to know why they changed their last name to Wondra. Did they change their last name?
Well, their names were Wondra, but that wasn't the name of either of their adopted parents. And she would take on his name when they got married. So why did he have Wondra? I wonder if that was his real mother's last name.
I've always thought Stacey's name, even for the whole 10 years, I've always thought his last name was Wondra.
Me too, but I don't know.
When you were there that day when the person on the couch with Sarah got pistol whipped, did they ever get up and walk into another room and act like they like lived there, or did you see any like suitcases or bags or anything to say that that person that was there was staying with them, or ever hear anything of him staying with the Wondras?
So I'll be honest with you, that was the first time I'd ever even seen that individual there.
Mhm.
And once the pistol whipping happened, I wasn't there to look at anything at that
Right.
moment, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
observational wise, his clothing, unless he's just one of those people who walk around in pajamas all the time, but his demeanor when he was there seemed like he was comfy at home. Didn't seem like he was visiting just to hang out. Yeah, he had, like I said, he had this wife beater that looked like, somebody had pulled on it real hard. It was saggy. And then he had like pajama pants on, I would say, and he didn't have shoes. Like no socks either, though.
Right.
Did you see him ever standing up? Was he super tall?
I didn't, like I said, I kind of came in the house and they were already talking, but it seemed like he had a long torso. I would have guessed he was tall standing up. But again, I just seen him sitting and get good.
Yeah, Adrian does have that very, very long torso. He was almost, I want to say he's around 6'4".
Yeah, that makes sense, because the back of the chair stopped at probably his what do you call them, like the like our wings in the back of us. No, it would have been just under, kind of where your arms attached to your shoulders. Yeah, like just under. And there was a decent amount of that he was over that too, but I do specifically remember how long his torso was, because when he was wearing that wife beater, that's when I noticed all the tattoos in his neck, and it's just easy to see when your body's more proportionate of anything of you. So
right. I've just been trying to think of any other questions I could ask you about him, but the neck tattoo that you said that you saw, do you remember what it was?
Unfortunately, I don't, because his complexion's darker. It's kind of like, respectfully, it's kind of difficult to see the detail with his complexion with the tattoo, because their house didn't have like new LED lighting. They had like the old yellow style lights, so it wasn't a particularly bright room either.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the numbers 666 on his chest? Because he has tattoos on his chest of 666.
He just said he had a lot of tattoos. That's all he remembered.
Yeah, I just remember, because again, the lighting was bad, but because his wife beater was so much work that was on him, and I only knew the tattoo for sure because of the shape, because it was odd. It didn't cover his whole neck. It wasn't on both sides. It wasn't on the back. It was that one. So that was a pretty specific one. That's not common.
He has a tattoo on his neck of Satan.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't notice that, to be honest now.
Yeah,
I don't know why anyone would do
his tattoos are really creepy.
Stupid.
Very, very creepy tattoos.
Why would someone do that? Clearly. Well, I mean, he was in the house of Satan. That's for damn sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, that place was disgusting too. Like, it's, I mean, it all encompasses everything leading up, right? Their eating styles are bad. Their living styles are bad. Their thought processes were obviously horrendous. And I will say that I would put all my money on the books. And again, it has nothing to do with me knowing Stacey or whatever, but 100% I would bet everything that Sarah orchestrated all of it. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, like, at all. Just with what I've witnessed alone, now hearing somebody almost say the same thing that I said.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a husband. That's somebody who would have had way more close and intimate style setting than a stranger per se.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like when you were in the room with her, the room's darker. It is. It just feels sad. It's like a gloomy day. You don't want to do nothing. It was just bad. But yeah, again, I was still very shocked that he didn't get up and really give it to her, to be honest with you. But I mean, again, that was such a shocking thing to even be a part of, that hopefully I never get to experience that again.
Yeah, one of the names that he actually uses on his Facebook profiles or Instagram profiles is Adrian Lucifer Lucian.
Yeah, his middle name is Lucien.
His middle name is Temple. Adrian Temple Lucian.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy because Justin was saying before about Sarah wanting to be cult-like, and that would be pretty fitting for a member, and then for all of this to happen. I mean, that's all speculation, of course, but
Right.
that's very crazy and fitting, if you will.
Yeah, Lucien is French, by the way.
You know, a story about his last name, Lucian. His dad gets so upset knowing that his son is in trouble with the law, is a suspect, and everything else because Lucian is only known in Ohio and only his family. So when people talk about Adrian Lucian or mention it, you know, he gets outraged by it.
What is his sister's name again? I can't remember.
Oh goodness, you'd have
I
to
did a
ask.
bunch of
I
research.
can't remember right now. Was it Rihanna?
I think so.
Rihanna? I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm taking a guess right now. Casey says Ohio does not claim him.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Well, Adrian, how about a job application? PA working out for you? How did that job application? Well, it didn't work out for him because I think he's on his way to Indiana right now.
Yeah. We know he was recently in Indiana because he was arrested on October 3rd and now has a warrant for his arrest that was issued on October 20th because he didn't show up for court. So, yeah, he didn't get the job. The woman, when he came in and was doing the application and the interview process and all that kind of stuff, not only did she tell me he used the address of the nearby bus station, but she knew who he was. And she sent me pictures and stuff of him saying, you know, I think this is Adrian Lucian, the suspect in the Michael Vaughan case. And we started having a discussion about it. It was a woman in Pennsylvania that randomly found me through my Michael Vaughan Facebook group and messaged me a messenger about
Angel,
him.
Did they have cats while you were there? Do you remember? You going to bed joyous, nighty night, darling?
You know, I believe I've never seen an actual animal, but I'm pretty positive I've seen a litter box. I've never seen an actual animal though.
Yeah. They I bet you.
No, for sure I saw. Yeah, I saw a litter box for sure because I was wondering why there was so many flies in their house, and they were all around the litter box.
Yeah,
that's right. So it had to have been used. I mean, but I never saw the animal.
Good Lord, these people.
But yeah, they don't deserve to have anything like that, though. That's for sure.
1000%. Okay, guys. Oh well, I think there's one more picture someone sent me here. I wanted to show y'all. Yeah, because this is the. What is it? Someone sent me. Oh. Here's another picture of Adrian. He's a tall guy. And his sister,
the backside.
Yeah. His hair's always done different though. Always done different. Thank you, Golden. Yeah. Any other questions tonight before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I've been watching in chat to catch any questions that anybody else had to have. I was trying to think of some
Haven't seen your
questions to maybe.
question, puppy, but what was your question? Why didn't Andrew call the police? If you go back and listen, he talks about that. I wonder when the 4 cats and the dogs were brought in. That's I don't know, but I mean, I think she's had probably at least a cat or 2 for a while. I don't know. I didn't even know they had a dog.
Yeah, I didn't know he ever had a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a puppy.
Really?
You know they had a dog, Justin. You know because their dog was digging holes in the backyard.
Oh,
remember?
well, shit. Yeah. God, sorry.
Justin, you how many lives have you done today?
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah. 1.5. I quit the other one.
Is your blood sugar low?
No. I was exhausted from the one last night, just emotionally exhausted from reading that stuff last night. I couldn't do anything else yesterday or today.
It's definitely heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I slept in today. I slept and I slept and I slept. I finally was able to get some sleep, and then I woke up and I was like, bing, okay, what can I do again today?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry you're tired and exhausted, though. I mean, it's been a rough week.
Yeah, it has been. It really has.
I think it's great that Andrew decided to come up here, because here's just one more person describing Sarah's demeanor and just, telling us basically what we've also heard from other people about them being gross, being disgusting, always trying to scam to make money. It was always about money, yet they never had anything. Sarah being violent.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think really helpful.
I think he really helped us. And if you would if you have time and can look at one of those receipts, like where you paid him before, if you still got that, and just see what month it is, because the March-April thing is very significant, just to know that Adrian was there, and that could be very, very helpful for law enforcement, I think.
Yeah,
well, there's two reasons.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
There's 2 reasons why I think that this could be Adrian. One is I don't know of any other dark-colored people that were in their house, hanging around their house ever. 2, Andrew is describing this tattoo of Adrian on his neck, not in the front, but only on one side. And to this day, Adrian only has that one tattoo on that one side, and then the rest of his body is covered. He's saying all the tattoos underneath his shirt, just him being present, like he was living there, not just visiting, almost like he's in PJs running around the house. I think it's huge, very, very significant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there were no, again, the demeanor of the individual is like, again, it was too, again, when you're at your own home, you obviously have like a kickback, So sorry, I don't mean to stop there. I just seen that pop up.
You're fine.
So Stacey has talked about fetal alcohol syndrome when I met him, but he's never given me a list of stuff. But again, that's one of those conversations where I'm not pressing to say, hey, what else is going on, like.
Would you be willing to talk to law enforcement if they wanted to talk to you or had any questions for you?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it would take me, I'd have to go through my accountant and stuff to figure out those, obviously, payroll dates. I don't just have them at the ready. But that's something, I wouldn't have a problem saying or talking to or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, they might be interested in hearing what you have to say for sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
especially Adrian and just their behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that really helped with a lot of the pieces tonight, and just you not knowing ever about Sarah's ex or anything, and you both said pretty much verbatim the same thing of the pots and the pans and the hitting and the kidnapping. I mean, someone, and he was married to her now, I think 14 years ago, 13, 14 years ago now. Someone who's talking about kidnapping, 13, 14 years and still talking about it, that is an obsession. That is in this need for constant control. It's crazy. Love you, Sarah. Thank you, Summer. Appreciate you. Stacey isn't taking meds of any kind. Oh, really?
No, he hasn't been taking any meds. They asked him a bunch of questions during his extradition and asked him if he was taking anything at all, and he said no.
Now, Sarah, she's been in the jail for quite a while. She'll probably, I would say, be charged with. She's not been charged with Michael's death yet, but it's coming, I would say.
By the way, I did find it's the same thing. I don't know if you want to see it here or what, but let me see. Here is Sarah's probable cause affidavit.
Yep.
It's the same exact
Same
as
thing.
Stacey Wondра's.
Yeah.
The charges and everything that's written in it, even the summary. So there is a probable cause affidavit. This confused a lot of people on my live when I showed it. She has not been arrested or charged with anything yet. But again, there is this probable cause affidavit, the same exact as Stacey Wondra's, and it came out on June 12th, just like the other one, I believe.
Nice. Lock them up and throw away the key.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see here. What was this? Oh crap! What'd I do? What the hell? Oh, I sent you. Sorry, wrong one. I get myself so confused sometimes. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you,
Yeah.
Andrew. And yeah, it's. I know you never thought you would like. It's just you just don't ever think that someone that you're going to be around does something like this. You know what I mean? Like people you work with or whatever. And I appreciate you reaching out yesterday, and yeah, I might be in touch with you again if you don't mind, just to ask you some maybe follow-up questions I think about later or whatever.
Yeah, and if you remember
I'll always be
anything
available.
else, let Justin know too. If you
Yeah.
remember anything at all, because I really do think it's the whole Adrian thing's just really important. So
Thank you, Summer's Army. Love you, darling. It is. It is. Thank you, Samantha. Appreciate you.
thank you for having me.
Of course. Of course. And thank the chat. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate your input. Justice for Michael Joseph Vaughan. 4 people need to be behind bars forever, as far as I'm concerned. And we're not going to stop until Monkey is brought home and justice is served. God bless each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. And thanks to my guest up here. Appreciate you. Good night, everyone.
Good night. I love you guys.
Good night.